So I'll attempt to briefly review Mugenbine Heat Tricera. And like every Mugenroid figure, he has the same body, different head with the letter that he corresponds to. It's the letter H, or maybe this way is. I think this way is actually the way the letter goes. I actually really like the basic Mugenbine figure. He's a really nice blue that looks completely different on my camera viewfinder than it does in person. It looks so light blue in the viewfinder. We'll see how it looks online. It's a really sturdy, solid figure, and I really like the head sculpt. It kind of reminds me of Shredder for some reason. Anyway, so his name is Heat Tricera, so he must have a heat mode and a Tricera mode, and I'll show you the heat mode first. It's not really a heat mode. It's actually not a heat mode at all. So Mugenbine gets blocked up like this. This part I actually really like. This is my favorite part. Just the way some of these parts fit together. I've got this Tricera head, and these parts sort of fit to it like this. And this sort of decorative ornamental part, it's in like that. And the other wheel part, it's in the back peg and over. And it just forms a nice little chunk there. To make that even better, this piece comes over and fits on here. And it's such a solid, like, sturdy chunk, and I really like the silver comes over and the lines come around, and it really looks good. We're going to take this chunk and slam it onto the Mugenroid. And because he needs some more wheels, we're going to attach some more wheels. There we go. Unfortunately, excuse me. Unfortunately, there are two more parts. We have the Brachiosaur head, which goes on here, and the Super Robot Mode head, which goes on here. Now, from this angle, it makes a pretty interesting looking train, but you notice I did just attach two heads, and one's here, and one's here. Oh, and there's the Mugenroid's head down there. And this, I really didn't like this, and I almost didn't get him because of this. And I'm actually glad I did. This head is like, if this were a Transformer, I would find it completely unacceptable. Oh, and also this head. And that one's at least a little bit covered up. But actually, for this guy, I don't really mind, because he's so fun to play with. So that's his, this is his heat mode, I guess. It's a train, which, you know, I guess you shovel hot coal into furnaces in these old-style trains, so it's heat like that. I don't know. Also, he's blue, which typically heat is like associated with the color red to me. So I don't know where he gets his name from, but this is his train mode. Now I'll show you his Tricera mode. So the Mugenroid actually gets balled up in traditional Mugenroid fashion with a big, beautiful M. Take this plate here, and we're going to attach this head. Now, when I first saw pictures of him, I only knew that he was the letter H. I didn't know that. Oh, geez, how does this go on? I think it's like this. No, it's like the. Wait, what? Well, I'm lost. I know that I need these pieces here, but I guess the pegs just stick down like that. I was thinking that these pegs... Oh, these are his toe pegs. For some reason, I was thinking that these were his toes and these were his knees. But no, these are his toes. You need to fold those pegs up like that. These guys can be a little confusing sometimes, which I actually think that's fun. They're really simple to put together, but just aligning the pieces in the pegs just right are kind of confusing. So when I first saw pictures of this guy, I only knew that he was Mugenroid H. And looking at this head, I thought, oh, it's a blue rhinoceros. Which, I didn't really like him very much when I thought he was a blue rhinoceros. But then, I found out that he was actually a Tricera. And then, when I found out he was a Tricera, these horns actually made sense. I just thought they were terrible blue cannons. Not blue cannons, I thought he was a terrible blue rhino with with cannons, but he's actually Tricera. I don't like how blocky this is, but this little detailing kind of makes it into a traditional Tricera head shield, which is a little better once you see it in person. Now, once again, I wish I could stop here, but I still have 2 more parts. So I'm going to take this dinosaur head, glue it onto his butt, and this robot head, and glue it onto his back. But not facing this way, fortunately. We get to turn it around. And there we go, Heat Tricera in his big blue Tricera mode. And this is actually, it's actually pretty cool from a couple angles. It's, you know, these legs move pretty well. These can't actually move, but you see they're restricted by these pegs here. So if you want to really do anything with them, you have to pop the tail off and put it back on, but it's not really worth it. The heads are kind of disguised. Right here I don't see heads. Not seeing heads. Ooh, I can kind of, yeah, I see that one there. And again, so we have head, and then his Mugenbine head. So he is kind of exposing himself. I think he's the only Mugenbine I know that has 4 heads. Anyway, I actually do like him pretty well. He's pretty cool looking. He's fun to put together. He's nice and blocky. I just like the way he looks. Now, if I were a Tricera, I don't know why I would want to turn into a train. Because, you see, he already actually has 2 wheels. He could, you know, lift up his back legs and pop his tail off and skate around. And he has these nice horn cannons on the front. I don't know why I'd want to be a train, but he does want to be a train for some reason. Anyway, I think he's actually pretty cool. He's fun. The heads, these extra heads are terrible, but he's a lot of fun just to put together. He has a lot of parts.